Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Basically, I'm just going to sit here and talk a little bit, have a little ranting session. I don't know how much it is actually ranting. My wife and I were talking a little earlier in this evening, and basically, we were talking about copyright laws and what they mean to us, what they mean as individuals, and what they mean to anybody who uses formats like YouTube. Um, or anything else of that nature. Now, as I'm sure most of you know, any user of YouTube, any user of Daily Motion, anyone who goes out there uses sites like TV Project or finds those free movies online that you can stream them online. Technically speaking, when you're watching those, you can possibly be infringing upon copyright law. There is a few little things that I'm just going to go ahead and talk about. One of the major ones is some of the shit that happened, what led us up to where we are, and a little bit of something called personal use. Now, most people are going to go, personal use, what the hell is that? Personal use is something that it's kind of finicky. It does and it doesn't really match up as much. Regardless, we're going to talk about it. Okay, so sit right in, pull up your favorite drink, pull up your favorite snack. We're getting ready to get weird, folks. We're getting Bill Cipher in Gravity Falls weird. So, right off the bat, we're going to travel back to the late 90s where Napster was happening. Now, for those of you who are old enough to remember Napster, you're probably going to remember that it was a very basic file sharing site. This thing predated Kazaa. For those of us who remembers Kazaa, yay! Those of us who don't, this was a file sharing site. It was similar to your torrents. Unlike them, anybody could upload anything. It wasn't just kind of looking at something a little sketchy. Although you did have to be a little bit worried about it. Napster, Kazaa both demanded that you listed some kind of drive as your drive that you're sharing with. Typically, this was going to be your hard drive. For most of us back in that day, it was a good old-fashioned C drive. That was our hard drive. So, going off of that, and sorry, I had to scratch my nose there. Going off of that, we had the situation going on that, this is the first time we got to listen to music for free. Honest to God, no artist who had music on Napster suffered record loss. In fact, more records were sold during the time that Napster was running. More records were sold. More concerts were attended than before Napster came out, because people were getting a chance to actually go ahead and see the fucking band. They were able to hear a band they've never heard before on Napster. Think about this. They could hear a new band. They could ensure that they were getting quality frickin' music and buying CDs. Because they still did. Because people didn't know better than to buy the damn CD. And there wasn't MP3 sites selling MP3s. Amazon wasn't even around at the time. Walmart did not have the Walmart MP3. And forget the Apple iStore. That shit did not exist. So, we had better record sales. We had more concerts being attended. But the idea that this was a format that could not be controlled by the record companies, that could not be monopolized by the record companies, the RCAA is the name I'm going to use for them. They decided that, well, we got to kill it fucking dead. We got to do it now. What are we going to do? Well, let's slip on our meat puppets. So here comes Meat Puppet 1. Right up the ass. They're talking through Lars Ulrich. Here comes Meat Puppet 2. Right up the ass. They're talking through James Hetfield. And here's James. Here's Lars. We gotta sue Metallica. We gotta sue our friends. They're stealing too much money. Yes. No, we have no one up our ass. No, this is our idea. Boom. Up comes the first lawsuit to Napster. Of course, we had actually some businesses stepping in. There was an investor who stepped in. I do not remember the name. I don't remember everything that was going on. The big deal that was going on, though, was that they was trying to monetize Napster. They were trying desperately to make it into something way more viable than it was. Did not work. Now, that said, Napster did last, if most of you will remember, it did last into the 2000s, barely into it, died out fairly early, and then here comes Kazaa. Now, originally, Kazaa was not started in the States. This is a major misconception. A lot of people thinks it was. It wasn't. In fact, from what I remember reading about Kazaa itself, it was started somewhere with pretty lax file sharing laws. But here still, anyway, here comes the RCAA. You know, they're going, oh my god, ah! Ah! They're doing it again! Ah! So, you know, once again, Lars, James, and we'll stop this! Yes, now! And RCAA goes, shovels money over to the state. The federal government decides that they're going to go ahead and try to persecute and prosecute. And they get in contact with the country this is in. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and name names. Those of you who knows the history of this, you already know where it was. But I am going to do my professional, well, the same professional, but my personal little idea of how this communication went down. You guys ready? Because this is going to be fun. Alright. So, here we go. They walk over there. You need to have this shut down. Your citizen is causing this whatever. Okay. Yeah. I wish I could tell you that, you know, that we could do that, but whatever. It's just whatever. I'll talk to him. But I can't guarantee we're going to get anything done. Because, you know, he can just whatever he wants to do. He's a citizen here, so, you know, maybe you should take a little hit off of this and, you know, maybe take that swinging cock that you're trying to fuck us with and just stick it up your own ass. Alright, you guys have a good one. And so that shit did not happen. Instead, the Meat Puppets, still firmly where they were informed, or did this on their own. I would like to think that this was actually RCAA, and that two of the main people for one of the bands that I absolutely loved their music did not actually come up with this shit on their own. Decided to sue a 12-year-old girl. A 12-year-old girl. Stop and think about this. A 12-year-old girl. What really made this really sad was that the girl's grandmother, who was raising her, was on a fixed income when they were slapped with $15,000 that they owed the courts because Lars Ulrich and James Hetfield, who both went, "We need to sue our fans, sue our fans, sue all our fans." They went ahead and pursued this. And I really hope it was RC Triple. Oh God, I hope it was them. Well, anyway, shit started kind of becoming real whenever people were bringing this up and poking fun at the way they were doing this shit. That they were suing their fans. Holy hell! This was such a dumb fucking move. First, those of you who remember the now defunct Camp Chaos, the guy who was behind it, talked and apparently had Motley Crue. Yeah, Motley Crue! Had them get on and they were talking and they did a little voiceover for a video that he did of how fucking stupid it was that Metallica was suing their fans. Now this was before the 12-year-old girl and the 15 grand. This was back in the Napster days or just right after. Then Weird Al comes out with this great song which basically talks about the girl getting sued, the "Don't Download This song," and we got to hear that. And for you guys who don't remember the song or haven't heard it, we can do a couple bars for you. Don't download this song. Pirating music is all wrong. Go and buy the CD like you know that you should. No, don't download this song. Oh, you don't want to mess with the RC AAA. They'll sue you if you burn that CDR. It doesn't matter if you're a grandma or a 15-year-old girl. They'll hunt you down and treat you like the criminal scum that you are. So yeah, that shit was going on. Weird Al comes out with that song shortly after. And say hello to Trina, she's right behind me. Shortly after, the government kind of takes notice that maybe this was a really stupid idea of just constantly allowing RC AAA to get away with just suing whoever for whatever reasons. And they talked to W because at the moment that's who we got in office. Yeah, I know, right? So RC AAA is up there. They're still pulling it to some of the politicians. I'm going to say Connie Rice was out there in the back lot going, "Oh my God, it feels so good," and keeping their attention. And they're walking up and they're going, "W, man, we got to stop this shit." And he's like, "What we got to stop?" "Well, we got to stop this, suing people over downloading a damn song or two or three." And he's going, "Well, they're still in it." And he's, "Well, not really, man. I mean, they are going and they're paying and they're going to concerts, they're buying CDs. This is kind of getting out of damn hand." And he's like, "Well, we got to still do something." And they said, "Dude, this is going to make us look really bad. We need to do something else. Because we got a presidency to kind of think about here, and we want to get you elected for another 8 years. For another 4. We want this to make an 8-year thing." "You got a point. Let's go ahead and do it. You know what? Let's tell them that Saddam. Let's say that Saddam is the cause of this shit, and people love that. They eat that shit up." My daddy told me that. So they kind of go, "Okay, whatever. Yeah, we'll just get your okay on this and go on." Which is one of the reasons why we don't have as much. And it still happens. We don't have as much shit going on. That leads to the personal use. Now, the personal use is not, nor will it ever be, but it is most definitely not a cure-all. It definitely does not protect you from using file sharing sites. It does not protect you if you decide to share something. What it does do is it guarantees that if you are listening or own the music that you downloading and that you're burning something else, that you are protected to use that for whatever reason means you're wanting to use it for, as long as it's personal use and it is not meant to be seen or heard by anyone else. Now, because the law itself is vague, and it is very, very vague, that means if you happen to have an old copy of, Phantasm. Alright, you have an old copy of Phantasm, it's on VHS, you own this copy of Phantasm. You technically could take that copy of Phantasm that you own and you could back it up on DVD. You could take the DVD at that point, rip Phantasm off of the DVD, and put it on your Google Drive. Now, did you break laws? No. No, you did not. And there's going to be a lot of people going, yes, you did! Yes, you did! No, you didn't. This comes into the personal use thing. Because it's yours, because you purchased it, you are allowed to transfer it to other formats. You are allowed to go ahead and make a digital copy, even if the material of which you own did not have one. Are you allowed to share it? No. No. You are not allowed to share this. This shit is not yours to share. This shit is just yours. You are not allowed to share it. When did this come about being? Did this come about in the 2000s? Hell to the no. This was way before the 2000s, man. This is going back, way back. This law was in effect during the 60s and 70s. It really came up and came into question during the 80s because we had a whole lot of people making mixtapes. They were making mixtapes that they were not giving to anyone, but they were just leaving in places that friends or family might find it and might use it. And by doing that, it's with no fault of their own if family or friends happen to use it. Because, big whoop. So, lo and behold, when that shit happens, of course, the RCAAA tried to do something. No, technically they're protected by the personal use I'm not going to say bullshit, personal use part of the law. So, where was the personal use with Napster? Or with Kazaa? Well, technically speaking, when those two situations happened, you were using a file sharing site, or those people were, which sucks. Because they were using a file sharing site, because they were downloading from a file sharing site, they technically were violating the copyright law in the sense that it said that they could not share this with an audience. It had to be for personal use only. And that sucks. Bad. Really bad. So, from out of that clusterfuck came this. So what does that mean for us? Well, lately being with the way the internet has changed viewing of all kinds of source material, lately, if you are watching anything on Netflix or Amazon Prime, those places are paying for the right to allow you to view said material. If you purchase the video from Amazon Prime and Amazon and you're watching it, you have purchased that video, you technically watch it wherever. No harm, no foul. Um, Most of the time, no one's going to give two shits about anybody streaming anything from a source like the TV. Good God. Like these TV sites that basically have the show 2 days after it airs, or from Daily Motion, or from YouTube. No one's going to give two shits about it. They're going to go ahead and be fine with you watching whatever. For one, YouTube is exceptionally good about taking anything that's copyrighted material and yanking it off. So yeah, you may have somebody that does not release their okay with the copyright material being on there and contacts them, and YouTube says, oh, okay, yeah, we'll rip that right off right now, and they'll go through and yank. And when they do that, it's simply just gone. Does it mess with YouTube user? Well, it can. They can get. You know what? I'm going to use a really good example. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm part of a fandom. If you're part of this fandom, you know this shit. You know what happened. A really great animator called Jan Animation made. Now, he didn't upload anything that was already made. He made some fan-based animations from this fantastic animation, made it about it, and put it up. It was a great 4-minute episode. There was a couple of music videos starring characters from these shows, and there was like a couple of little teaser things here and there. And he got slapped with a huge, well, it wasn't huge. There was no such thing as a lawsuit. That did not come about. Technically what he was doing was a parody, so he could get away with it. But he did get slapped with a cease and desist order. So did his YouTube channel. So basically he had to take all his stuff off because it was viewed as, violating copyright. Being the fact it was a parody, he could have went ahead and put it back on and kind of laughed it away. But he decided not to, mainly because he wanted to try to go to work for the company that labeled that big ass, cease and desist on him. Which, thanks to him, he created essentially two characters, one of which officially exists in the fandom, one that does not, and has still become massively loved and beloved characters. Even if one does act a little bit like a whiny little bitch. I mean, they're massively loved characters. But that happened. Most of the time when this shit happens, most of the time there is no lawsuit. It's just simply, you need to take this off. It's dropped. It may affect ad revenue for the YouTube user. In fact, I think most of the time it does. They'll no longer be allowed to have ad revenue from Google, which sucks, but it is what it is. And they're taking that risk whenever they upload something. So, there is that. Is there still lawsuits over this shit? Yeah, not like there used to be. Most of the time, it's pretty well chilled. No one really gets too up in arms about it. Most of the time when people are doing that kind of stuff that I just mentioned, well, they either already bought it off of iTunes, or they bought it off of Amazon, or back in the day when it was still on there, they bought it off of Walmart. Walmart's.com is still around. It's just they don't have the MP3 store in there anymore. Fuck you, iTunes. But, seriously, it wasn't a terrible thing. When this other format came out, it was treated that way. It was treated that way because the record companies were absolutely certain that there was no way to control the ad or control the revenue stream from it. And that's really what all the shit was about. It was controlling the revenue. So the movies and stuff that you can rip, that you can watch, do I honestly condone watching a movie that's out in theaters online? Do I condone that? Typically, no. Typically, I say no. I say, if it's coming out in theaters and you're wanting to watch it, gather the $8 up, go watch the damn movie. If you don't have the $8 or don't want to spend the $8, go watch the matinee of it. If you're working stiff like most of us are, yep. Take a day off. Go watch the movie. Go to work the next day. Don't say what you did. And then after the weekend, go into work and talk about the movie with everybody else. If you're wanting to do that. Is there times that I condone watching a movie online? Kind of, yes. Mainly when it comes down to the movie being a horrible piece of shit, and I know it's going to be a horrible piece of shit. Okay, well, we're going to finish this up. Just a few minutes ago, actually for me guys, it's been more like about 30 minutes ago, Windows Live Movie Maker decided to have itself a little fuck you party, and that was not cool. But you know what? We're screaming, we're kicking, we're right back in the job. We're here to give you guys a little more talking. Seriously, I'm just going to splash this right onto the end. So what happened? And I was saying earlier, what is my personal views on streaming a movie when it's out in theaters, streaming a movie when it's just released for video renting, and doing it off of an unpaid site. Most of the time, I'm of the mind, go watch the damn movie. Go to the theater, pay the money, watch the movie if it's something you really want to watch. If it's not, don't watch it. Now, where my personal view ends, where I stop, and I kind of go, well, maybe you can go right ahead and watch it anyway, is when the movie is a guaranteed piece of shit. Sorry. I know there's a lot of folks out there who's looking at me right now going, well, what constitutes a guaranteed piece of shit? It's going to depend on your preference, man. You know what? I'm going to quote the dude right now. It's like your opinion, man. Seriously, it's your opinion. Because you know what? It really is. It is your opinion, man. I'm serious. What you choose to do is like your business, But seriously, it's your opinion. Am I telling you to go stream a movie if it's going to be a piece of shit? No, I'm not. Am I telling you to go waste $12 on it either? No. Now, there's some of you out there who's going,
If it's my precious, it could be a precious. He wants the precious.
yeah, look, chances are if you're not that interested to begin with and it looks like a piece of shit and it smells like a piece of shit, it's going to be a piece of shit. And that means that like I'm saying, no matter how much you want to change it, a piece of shit is going to be a piece of shit, guys. I mean, seriously, there's no changing that. There's no stopping that. If something's a piece of shit, it's a piece of shit. Can't get past that. Okay. Well, I'm going to call this an end. I've definitely been rambling with you guys long enough. Um, I am going to go ahead and save this entire thing. So, you know what? Once again, guys, whatever fandom you belong to, whether you be a brony, whether you be a Harry Potter supporter, whether you be a DC goon, a Marvel zombie, um, Dark Horse Knight, Imperial, Browncoat, a Whovian, guys, whatever it is that you belong to, whatever it is that you love, seriously try to get along. Try to be understanding of one another. You know what? Rufus said it best, or rather, you know what? Let's just go ahead and say it. George Carlin said it best as his character Rufus in Bill and Ted. Be excellent to one another. Alright, guys. This is it for me. Peace out, and catch you on the flip flop.